What's up, guys? Dominic Abassi here for the British Columbia Football Conference to set up week number 3 around this league. And before we get into the matchups, I did want to make a comment on the CJFL Top 10 Power Rankings, the first of the season to be released this week. And I saw some commentary in the Facebook thread wondering how the Saskatoon Hilltops could be the top-ranked team in the Power Rankings, even though they haven't played a game yet. Well, first of all, stop. Come on, that's silliness. Of course, they're the top team in the power rankings, and they should be. They're the 5-time defending champions. So I don't really want to hear any conversation about why are the Hilltops the top team in the power ranking. That's pretty obvious. And they should be the top team in the power ranking until they lose a Canadian Bowl. And I think I might go blue in the face if I hold my breath for that to happen. Another piece of it was seeing an Ontario Football Conference team in the mix in the top 10. And I know why they do that. I know the CJFL has to include all of its member teams, and I get that. But honestly, the OFC has not proven that they can play on the national level for a number of years. But that's my personal feeling on that. Now to the week 3 games. And it starts off with a 2 o'clock game on Saturday afternoon at Caledonia Park in Nanaimo, home opener for the Vancouver Island Raiders as they take on the Kamloops Broncos. And pretty simple math here for me. The Raiders are desperate. They should be desperate. They're 0-2, and if they have any hopes of getting into that 4th playoff position this year, they have to win this game. They have to beat the Broncos twice this season, really, to do that. And they'll be motivated playing in their home opener. On top of that, the Broncos, with a really brutal travel day, they'll be up at basically daybreak, leaving Kamloops on the bus all day, on the ferry to Vancouver Island, right onto the field, into game action. That's going to be very difficult. Pretty easy math to do when you look at that football game. The other 2 games on the schedule, though, a little bit more intriguing equations. So if you look at those, 7 o'clock Saturday night in the Apple Bowl, the West Shore Rebels taking on the Okanagan Sun, a battle of 2-0 teams. This should be a lot of fun and very interesting factors at play here. I'm looking at the Sun backfield. Kelton Curry, Malcolm Miller, great starts to the season. Both are averaging over 7 yards per carry out of that Sun backfield. And it looks to me, obviously small sample size, but Okanagan has the ability to run the ball. They have the ability with their defense to stay close in tight games, and that might be kind of their recipe this year. Maybe no big blowouts, and they're not going to blow any teams away, but they will hang around and be in football games all the way through, as we saw last week against the Valley Huskers in a victory for them. Classic combo, really. Stout defense, being able to run the ball. They're going to always have a chance to win. But on the other side of the equation, that nasty Rebels defense. I talked to some coaches and people around the league this week, and people are really talking about this Rebels defense. Athleticism, speed, size, and, of course, Shane Beatty pulling the strings. That's a really, really dangerous combination. Beatty's group will be fired up to go in on that road trip and play under the lights in the Apple Bowl on Saturday night. I think this is a really intriguing game, and probably, for me, sort of the game of the week. Maybe game of the week A and game of the week B is Sunday night, 6:30 kickoff in Langley as the Rams host the Valley Huskers, the Battle of the Valley. I honestly don't really know what to expect here. The Huskers in tough. Obviously, they had a brutal schedule to start the season, playing the Rebels, the Sun, and now the Rams out of the gate. They'll need more from their offense when I look at this game to really keep pace, even with their strong defense. Both coaches agreed when I talked to them this week that it kind of breaks down to the Langley Rams' high-powered offense against the Huskers' really strong defense. But I'm interested in that Valley offense. Brandon Poulin's going to get his catches. Of course, he had 7 more in week number 2, but they need to keep pace with the Rams. I think points are going to be needed for the Huskers, no matter how well their defense plays in this game. To me, it's a question of if the Rams can stay consistent with what they've shown, the number 2 team ranked in all of Canada right now, and if the Huskers can continue to elevate their game to try and get to that level and mentally overcome an 0-2 start to the season when realistically they easily could and should be 2-0 on the other side of the coin. If you can't make it out to the parks, you know where to go. BCFCTV.com to catch all the action streaming live this weekend, week 3 on the BCFC. I'm Dominic Abassi.